In this video, we're going to focus on how we can create the candlestick chart wicks, as you can see here. And this is part 3 of the candlestick chart series. And you have here these candle wicks here, up and down. But you might say here, why is this not showing here? Well, the reason for this is because this is showing the upper limits, basically, of the entire chart. It starts at a lower limit and hits the upper limits. So it's a full box, basically, covering all the candlestick wicks, basically. So for everything else, you see everything works accordingly. So let's start to look how to do this. So let's continue on, and this is part 3 of how to create a custom candlestick chart in Chart.js. So what we have so far is these colors, and it understands if we increase or decrease. However, what we're still missing is what we call the candle wicks, or the handles at the top and at the bottom. And we're going to focus on this right now. So for this, we need to do some customization on it, and this is what we call a plugin. So in here, in the config, we're going to go into options, just below the options, comma, we're going to say plugins, and we're going to create our own plugin. And the plugin we're going to create is, we can call it the candlestick or the candle wick lines, anything you want. So I'm going to give it simply the candlestick, and then we're going to say here, constant candlestick equals, and then the ID equals candlestick, and what I want to here, just comment is candlestick comment plugin block, so we know what block it is. So then in here we have to really consider when would we like to draw these candle wicks. In this case, the candle wick should be behind the these bars here, basically. So that would mean we're going to say here, we first draw the candle wick, which is the lines, and then we're going to draw, or then on top of it, the bars will be shown. So we're going to say here, before the data sets draw. So we're going to draw this before the data set, which is the bars, or the floating bars, will be drawn. So I'm going to say here, chart, these are the arguments, so args and plugin options. So once I did this, what I want to do here is the following. I want to do an object destructuring, and again, if you want to understand object destructuring, please check my video in the description box, Chart.js Understanding Object Destructuring. So we're going to do here this equals that. Alright, and then what I need to do here is I need to probably reconsider, what do I need? Well, CTX, because I need to draw on the chart. We might need the data, well, most likely, because we need to grab the data. We will need the chart area or something within there, not sure, but let's grab that first to be sure. And then we're going to grab here the top, bottom, left, right, and width and height. And then what we're going to do here, final one, is the scales. Make sure we have a comma here, or else we get an error. And in the scales, we're going to get the X and Y variables. Do we need all of them? Maybe. But just having them in preparation is fine. So then what I want to do is, I'm going to say here, I want to save all these variables I have above. So I'm going to say ctx.save. And once I have that, what I want to do here now is I want to define the line width for this. Because I have a line thickness of 2 pixels, I want to be consistent with that. So I'm going to say here ctx, and I'm going to say here line width equals 2 pixels. Then what I want to do is I also want to have the color. So the color is, because our border color is black, I'm going to use the same here as well. I'm going to say here ctx dot stroke style, that is the official command for coloring. And then we're going to say here string value, and what is our string value? Just grab this nice black color. So once we have that, nothing still happens yet because we didn't draw anything yet. So what I want to do now is start to draw the item. To do this, what we have to do is really to consider a few things. We have to look really here what I need. I need to start here at this point, really in the center, and then go up. How much up I have to go? Well, that will depend on whatever we have defined here, or here, or here. Or, sorry, not even here or here. This is the open and close. We don't use them. We need these two here, which is the H and L. Because the open and close is basically covered in here, the S. So, we only need the highest value and the lowest value. So, to do this, and this is why we have the data here, we can get the reference from that. So, I'm going to say here, let's start to work on that, and I'm going to just say here ctx.begin path, and this basically says draw a new shape that is disconnected from any other shape. This is very important. If you don't do that, sometimes you might see somewhere these colors being assigned as well somewhere, because it is not disconnected with the begin path. So make sure you do the begin path to disconnect that. Alright. Then what I want to do is, let's think about it. We need to say ctx.move_to. Move_to consists of two variables, the x and y variable, and basically move_to is just like, imagine you have a pencil, and this pencil will start to draw somewhere here. The move_to would basically mean we're going to start at this starting point here. That's the starting point of that, where the line will start. So we're going to say here, move_to in this case should come here and then going up, or at least this point here is the starting point. So I'm going to say here for the x value, we have to look here. I'm going to use a very specific command, which is chart.get dataset meta, then here parentheses 0. This basically means index 0, but this is a Chart.js command. This is very important. It's built into Chart.js. And then what I'm going to say here, dot data, because I want to grab the data. And which data do I want to grab? Well, in this case, I'm going to start with the starting point here of move_to. So I'm going to say here, index 0. And then once I say index 0, I'm going to say here dot x. So if you're wondering what this truly means, maybe it's even better to just give you a quick snapshot of this. So let's say here, console log, save this. So I'm going to show this here, then you will see here we will get the x and y variables. If I open up the console log, we get a lot of items here, and we need to have the one on 141. So you can see here, let me just increase the size of that, that's easier to read. 104, or sorry, no, not 104, 141, that's the one we need. Click on this. You can see here a lot of information. We get here the base, which would basically mean the bottom here. Oh, and as you can see, as I move on it, it would trigger immediately as well. But that's the base, that's the bottom of it. And then we have here the height would indicate how many pixels in height it is. So from the bottom, where it starts, plus 23 pixels would be the top. And then we have here the width, which would indicate from left to right. And then I have here the x and y coordinates. And the x and y coordinates is basically x is the exact center here, that's the x coordinate, and the y would be the very top of it, that's here. So that's very important. Well, basically if I move with my basically if you see the tooltip, the moment I hover over the bar, that is the x and y coordinates to be exact. So basically there, that point is really what we need, because that is the point to draw the height. Alright, so now we get this, and I guess we don't have to show anymore these kind of things. Let's put that back. Going to grab this one here, and then what do I need next? Well, we can put in here, well, basically the y value for this. So if I do this, it will not draw anything yet, because this is just a starting point. Then what I want to do here is I'm going to say a ctx line 2. So the difference between move_to and line 2, move_to is like when you get a pencil and you go to that exact coordinate to start the line drawing. The line 2 is then we're going to draw the line, but this is not really drawing, it's a preparation of drawing, because here we can define where it should go to, but the line will not draw yet, because we didn't put in the command to draw. This is just only a prepared line where it's supposed to go. So then what we're going to do here is basically this. We're going to grab this, and we're going to say here, I want to stay on the same position, but I want to increase in height. So our height will depend on what exactly. Well, for this, we're going to use a specific command. We're going to say y.get pixel for value. And what do we really want is basically, if you're wondering where's this y coming from, remember the scales here. We have this object destructuring, and this is a Chart.js command here to get a pixel for whatever the value is. So what's the value I need? I want to know the pixel of the h in this case. Whatever number 2 is, how many pixels it would go up or down. So let's scroll here, and then what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put in here, and then I'm going to say here data, because we're going to grab the data, and then we go to the datasets index 0, because we only have 1, and then we're going to say data index 0, and then on there dot h. If we do this, we should get now the official item. But if I save this, refresh, remember we didn't draw anything yet. What I will do now is going to draw it. We're going to ctx.stroke, And the stroke means draw the line. So here we prepare where the line needs to go, and then here we will say draw it now. So basically everything is one command. So now you can see here, there we are, and this is eventually the item. So now what we can do is, for the bottom, we're going to do exactly the same here. So for this, I'm going to enter, enter, and then we can say here again, I'm going to create a new begin path. Why? I want to make sure that this is disconnected from this item here, because these are two independent lines. So then here we can basically copy this, but now we need to just work on it slightly different. So where am I going now? Here is basically we have here this point, and well, we have to now recalculate. Probably have to look here. We have to go there. We have to start from here, or we could even start from there, because we are basically making sure that the bar is on top of it, so it will not matter for us. So it will not damage the visual of it. Then from here, we could just go down to whatever the point is. So I guess that's fine. I will accept that item here. So then I'm going to put in this, alright. And then here, we're going to say here, this will be not high, but low. Once we did that, copy this, enter, save, refresh. Alright, so as you can see here, we get this visual effect here, and because the line here is slightly different here, and that's why it works like this. But as you can see here, this works perfect, and the line up and down should be fine, because if I look here, it should start at H is 135. Alright, that's acceptable, and the low of L for the lowest point is 1 flat. Alright, so now we have this works, but of course we don't want this code multiplied, basically copy pasting. No, what we're going to do is now we're going to loop through this. So what I'm going to say here is basically a let's see, we could do here a for each loop. I'm going to say here data dot data sets index 0 dot data, and then we're going to say here dot for each, and then what we want to do here, we're going to define this as a data point. This is the data point with all the x and y etc in there, or sorry, not x and y, it could be x and y, but also the h, the open, close, low, and highest point. So then what I want to do here, we have this, and I'm going to say comma dot index. I want to have the index value as well. We have to make sure that there's a second parenthesis here. Then I'm going to do the function error expression, curly braces, and then here parentheses, enter, and then cut this code, put it in there. I'm going to put that in there, and then what I want to do is I want to make sure we copy this. And what do we need to change here? Well, basically only this item here. We have here the index, we have here the index, and then we have here, I guess, as well the index, and we have here as, oh sorry, not on the data set. We only have one data set, so we are not allowed to touch that one. Just only the items here, the data itself. That's the one that needs to loop through. Alright, so once I say this, refresh, there we are. So we look at this one, what's going on here? Is this correct, or do we have a mistake here? And you can see here we have one that is getting outside of the chart area. I'm going to solve that one, no worry. But let's look at this first to validate if this is really correct. Let's go up here, and that is the third item, so that's index number 2, that's this one here. Apparently this is correct because we are exactly within this box. So this here is all correct. It's 20 and 50, and you can see here 120 and 150 here. So this one is fine. Let's solve this item here. So basically for this, because this is 2 here, we're going to put what we call a grace area for our scale. So we're going to scroll down here in the y-axis, say comma, and I'm going to put in here grace, and this grace should be, let's say, 1. If I do that, save, refresh, there we are. So what happens is that's maybe too much, or let's say maybe 5%. That should be more sufficient. Save, refresh. Well, I guess this doesn't really work. Fair enough. I'm going to put it on 1. Let's grace on 1. There we are. So I guess it gives you 1 space here, but although 1 space in this case looks quite much, but of course this can be always adjusted. So now we have this here, and I guess this should be already sufficient. And what we want to do next is to start looking at how we can put in a line here. That's a very common item as well. So in the next video, we're going to focus on creating a basic moving average line.